We just bought this device. We came to the store in this area and we seen them hanging out here. We tried it on. It felt really good. All those things that he named that it would help. We have all those problems as far as the carpal tunnel, plantar fasciitis in our feet, arthritis, and we bought it and thought we would give it a try. We're not big on medications or anything like that, so here we go.
In a couple minutes, he had it sold.
Get all that. Get it. Get it. It is worth every penny of it. Get it. Great product. They stuck it on my back. I still feel like I'm trembling. Get it. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong with this product right here. Every day, you feel like you want back problems, you got back problems, hey, this right here. Get this right here. Great guys, great people, little money, worth the pay. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong.
Yeah, I just finished swimming at Sports and Health, and I just tried the product on my shoulders. My shoulders were tight coming out of the pool, and it really relaxed them. Seemed to have got the blood to flow, stimulated my muscles, and they feel very relaxed. So the product definitely worked for me when I just tried it. So I feel good about the product going forward.
These cool cats representing this good product right here. Sam, oh my God, man, like, it's crazy what it did to me just now. Wearing it for 5 seconds, like, I really feel like I'm happy, I'm smiling. They told me the blood would be here, like, I just really feel like it's good, man, it's good, man. I just bought it instantly, man. I don't know, it's legit. Y'all gotta follow them. Subscribe on YouTube. The product's crazy, man. It's legit, man. Real good people, man. Y'all check it out. Sam, man, get your muscles right.
So I ran into some great guys, and they're doing this Sam.com. And what it is actually therapeutic for your muscles, your back, your legs. They gave me some neat socks, ankles, and these pulses that you click onto the thing and it vibrates through your feet. It massages your back, any area that you have trouble. Now I do hair all day, so I stand on my feet all day, and my back hurts, my feet hurt, all kinds of stuff hurt. And it seems pretty interesting. I've seen like products like this, haven't tried it yet. I'm willing to try it and see what's going on. I'm trusting these guys. It looks very durable.
I am a truck driver, and sometimes I'm really tired, and I put this device on me and it relax me. Soy un chofer de camiones y compré este aparato y trabaja muy bien en mí. Cuando estoy cansado me lo pongo y sí trabaja bien rico, relaja los músculos. Cómprenlo, es bueno, me encanta. Yo no sé si a alguien más le gustaría tenerlo, pero a mí me ha trabajado muy bien.
Yeah, man. It's a great product. Use it, use it, use it. Works wonders. I'm a security guard. I can use it anytime when I'm working. Unnoticeable. Keep it under my clothes. It's a great product. It works wonders. Buy it, buy it, buy it.
This is excellent. I had a shoulder injury about a couple months ago, and it really helped the pain and also made it feel better. And now I'm able to even do push-ups again. And it's a very valuable tool, a very, very valuable instrument. And I advise anybody having any leg pain, or back pain, foot pain, ankle pain, I recommend it highly. And also I'm a technician, GPC Auto Service. I fix all makes and models. Also, I have a transport bin. I transport cars also. Give me a call at 301-325-3342. And my name is Gary.
This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer, you're under the microscope. Now, before we jump into today's program, and we're gonna pick up where we left off last time, and we're going through the Kylie Clapp forensic interview. Now we're getting to know Mustafa. We're getting to know what this police department is doing in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case through the police body cams. Now, these police body cams and documents are sealed by Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. She went to the presiding judge and she sealed off every piece of document, every police body cams, even Mustafa's dash camera. Mustafa has a dash camera inside his car, and the prosecutor and the Commonwealth attorney, Amy Ashworth, is terrified that this community is watching what went on inside the vehicle before the vehicle accident. Now, she's terrified because she wants to tell this community that there was a heated argument. Mustafa crashed the vehicle on purpose. But then when you watch the dash camera, it shows that Mustafa did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident. And there is no argument inside the vehicle. And that's why the Commonwealth attorney sealed it. And at one point, she's attempting to even seal it from the jury. Even from the jury. That's how terrified this Commonwealth attorney from Mustafa's dash camera. She wants to conditionally enter this dash camera, take it out of context so the jury doesn't see the entire dash camera. Now, we stole this dash camera from the Commonwealth attorney. I stole the whole file, the police body cams, the document, the dash camera, and I've leaked it on the internet. And we're watching that this Commonwealth attorney is using police officers that falsified this case and is building a whole entire case on falsified police reports. Before we jump into this podcast and before we jump into today's program, I want to talk about an incident that took place 2 weeks ago. Stafford County Police Department. We had an incident with a couple of deputies, and we're not happy with what those deputies did and how they handled the situation. Now, I went to Internal Affairs. I'm having a conversation with Internal Affairs, and I'm not happy with the incident. So far, we haven't resolved the issue. And what I like to come out of this whole conversation with Internal Affairs is I like to maintain that whatever is going on is isolated incidents, that this is not the police department. This is not Stafford County Police Department. That what is taking place is isolated incidents. Deputies that handled the situation, and it's an isolated incident. In the police department, once they're notified, they can look at this issue, look at this deputy, and hold this deputy accountable. And I like to come out with this that the police department doesn't stand behind a deputy that engage in police misconduct. We're having a conversation with Internal Affairs, and I'm waiting for a resolution. Now, we can go into the situation, but I like not to go into that situation if I'm talking to Internal Affairs. I like to think that there are individuals within the police department, when a situation happened, when police misconduct happened, when a deputy is out of line and engaged in police misconduct, the police department as a whole doesn't stand behind this deputy. And I'm going to leave it at that. Now, I have the videos from the incident. I don't want to release those videos because I like the police department to fix it. Now, the reason that we talk about Prince William County Police Department and we say that the chief of police out of Prince William County is a piece of shit because we went to the chief of police and he stood behind the officers that falsified Mustafa's case. I mean, essentially, the reason that we have a podcast, the reason that we talk about the Mustafa Al-Jazari case is because the police department stands behind the police misconduct. And I like to think that Stafford County Police Department, the chief of police, Sheriff Decatur, doesn't stand behind deputies in his department that engage in police misconduct. So far, I like to be objective. I like to have a conversation with the police department. And I like for the police department to reach a resolution. I don't want to release the videos that I have. I don't want to talk about that incident. I want the police department to fix it. Now, if they don't fix it, that's a different conversation. But we'll give them time to fix it. Whenever we jump on this podcast, we like to be objective. We want to say that the police department, the police misconduct that is happening in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case is not a reflection of every police officer. Police officers in our community, in Prince William County Police Department, in Stafford, they put their life on the line every single day. They swear an oath to serve this community. And the police misconduct that we're finding is specific to those police officers and is specific to the chief of police out of Prince William County. And it's not a reflection of every police officer. So we try to stay objective. Sometimes it's not easy. I'll be honest with you. But we're going to continue to be objective. And we're going to continue to engage in conversations. And we'll leave it at that. We're waiting for a resolution. Now, let's dive into the podcast. I want to go over, I want to go over an article from Inside Nova where Fairfax County, they're talking about a vehicle that went into oncoming traffic, collided with another vehicle. Now, this is an ongoing investigation. Now, when I'm looking at this article, when I'm looking at that accident, when I'm looking at that situation, I find it interesting that a vehicle accident happened and they're not jumping into a conclusion. They're not immediately getting on the scene and condemning the driver at fault. Now, in Mustafa's case, immediately, and you see this through the police body cam, the officers know Mustafa. One of the officers, Casey Fine, is going around muting his body cam and attempting to influence the witnesses, telling them that Mustafa is on drugs. He tells the main investigator, Robert Drum, so Casey Fines, through the police body cam, you see that he tells investigator Robert Drum that knowing Mustafa, he's on drugs. Now, Mustafa's toxicology report show no alcohol and no drugs. But they charged Mustafa with a DUI, manslaughter DUI. And they've kept Mustafa under a manslaughter DUI from April 5th, April 7th, all the way to October. In October, when we submitted evidence that this investigator had falsified Mustafa's statements, the Commonwealth Attorney, working with the police department, dropped the DUI and then raised the charges to murder. I mean, this is disturbing. Mustafa's toxicology report showed no alcohol, no drugs, But yet, this is Mustafa's toxicology report. Now, you can zoom in. And you can see, says blood alcohol non-detected. THC 0.0003. No drugs in his system. So no alcohol, no drugs. But of course, they seal off the file, so they can do they're doing whatever they want. No one can find out what is going on. I mean, this document is essentially, we stole it from the Commonwealth Attorney. This is in Mustafa's file. The question is, if Mustafa's toxicology report showed no alcohol, no drugs, why'd you charge him with the DUI? You issued out an arrest warrant, you falsified his statements, and you charge him with a DUI. Immediately, Mustafa was condemned guilty. Now that's not how they're handling cases. When someone gets in a vehicle accident, condemn him guilty the minute police officers get on the scene. Let's read the article. So if you go over to Inside Nova, InsideNova.com, you'll see this article. This article says 2 people were killed early Sunday in a head-on crash involving a wrong-way driver on the 495 express lane in Fairfax County. Okay, so this person found his vehicle driving into the other oncoming traffic. State police said a 2017 Ford Edge was traveling southbound in the northbound lanes at 2:34 a.m. when it struck a 2004 Jeep Patriot head-on near the 48-mile marker. The Ford's driver, 24-year-old Tremaine D. Gross of Washington, D.C., and the driver of the Jeep, Megan Elizabeth N. Mattis, 32 years old, of Westminster, Maryland. Both died at the scene. Virginia State Police spokesperson Matthew Dimlin said in a news release. Okay. Both drivers were wearing seatbelts. He said the crash remains under investigation. Now, are they going to charge this person with murder just because he got in a vehicle accident? Because that's what they did in Mustafa's case. They falsified Mustafa's statements. They weaponized the children. We have evidence to Investigator Romero sat down with the children. And 14-year-old Javen said that on the interview. He said, investigator told me that Mustafa ran away from the scene, left my 5-year-old baby sister to bleed to death, and they could have saved her if he hadn't run away. I mean, what's Investigator Romero telling these children, weaponizing these children before they put them in a forensic interview? Now, from the police body cam, we see that Mustafa was in a coma. Mustafa was helicoptered to the hospital. So what is this investigator telling these kids, weaponizing these kids against Mustafa? You have a vehicle accident. That's not how they handle every vehicle accident. I mean, what is this kid's name? 24-year-old Tremaine D. Gross. Oh, it's not Mustafa. It's not a Mustafa. Otherwise, a Mustafa would be handled differently. But it's Tremaine. So Tremaine is going to be handled different. They're going to look at it as a vehicle accident. They're not going to tell the witnesses that were there He's on drugs. Charge him with a DUI. Weaponize the children. Seal off the whole file. Hide the dash camera from the community. Cut the dash camera before impact. And mute the dash camera. And then later we find out that they have the audio, but they're not telling anybody. Crush and stage the vehicle. Falsify your statement. Refuse to give you bond so that way you don't talk about your case. And go to the presiding judge and seal off the whole entire file. What do we find on one of the body cams when a mechanic is inspecting Mustafa's vehicle? Oh, that's right. They found brake failure. The computer inside Mustafa's vehicle showed that his foot was on the brake the whole entire time. They want to tell us that there is an argument inside the car. We have evidence that they falsified Mustafa's statements. Mustafa never said, I was arguing inside the vehicle. There's a recording between the investigator and Mustafa that Mustafa never said that. But yet in the police report, the investigator claimed that you told me you were arguing inside the vehicle. And then when you watch the dash camera that they're hiding from everybody, you see that Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette 8 times. And that's why they're hiding the dash camera. Because once you watch it, you'll realize, I mean, at one point, Dorothy, when she takes a cigarette from Mustafa's hands, she feels his fingers as she's taking the cigarette. 8 times they're passing a cigarette back and forth. And that's why the Commonwealth attorney is terrified from releasing the dash camera. His name is not Tremaine. His name is not James. This is a Mustafa. Oh, wait a minute. Mustafa has a history with the police. He has a lawsuit over $500,000. Mustafa was being harassed by the police because he was suing the police. In 2018, he has a lawsuit that dragged all the way to the vehicle accident. Oh, wait a minute. He's suing Stafford Police. This is a Stafford deputy that pulls Mustafa over for supposedly a broken taillight. Mustafa never had a broken taillight, but he pulls him over. He says, that's why I pulled you over. Now, when he goes into Mustafa's vehicle, what is Deputy Taylor out of Stafford County is telling his buddy deputy, this is Mustafa. We're watching Mustafa. He lived off of Onville Road. And he's coaching his deputy, telling him this is an asshole. We're watching him. What are you doing watching my brother? Now, is this a department issue? Because when we talk to the police department, they say the department is not watching Mustafa. Wait a minute. Are you telling me there is isolated incidents within the police department where they're watching Mustafa in their own capacity? They're watching Mustafa? This is personal? Using a badge and a uniform to watch Mustafa? What the hell are you watching my brother for? Oh, that's right. You violated his rights. In 2018, he filed a lawsuit over $500,000 against you. And now you're watching Mustafa. I mean, without this video, if I was telling the story, it's unbelievable that you have a deputy that goes into your car and is coaching his fellow police officer that doesn't know Mustafa. Hey, we're watching this guy. He lives off of Onville Road. Let's watch the video.
Not really, no.
So they're
Like a bunch of assholes.
They're the Algezarans. They're being watched. They live off of Onville. You know these guys?
Not really, no.
So they're
Like a bunch of assholes.
They're the Algezarans. They're being watched. They live off of Onville.
What happened?
You know these guys?
We're watching Mustafa. He lives off of Onville Road. He's an asshole. We're watching this guy. Oh, you're watching him. In your own personal capacity, you're watching him. And today we have the situation repeats itself. Well, we like to think these are isolated incidents, that the police department out of Stafford County does not stand behind deputies that engage in police misconduct. And we're going to continue to have a conversation with Internal Affairs. And we're going to ask to sit down with Sheriff Decatur to get to the bottom of what is going on in Stafford County. I've lived over half my life in Stafford County. This is my community. This is my town. And I like to think that this is my police department. That Sheriff Decatur doesn't stand behind police misconduct. We'll get to the bottom of it. And we look forward to a resolution. Now let's dive in. We're pick up where we left off last time. We're combing through. We're taking a deep dive into the forensic interview of Kylie. This police department out of Prince William County and the Commonwealth Attorney, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. What she's doing in this case is she's muddying up the water. Every piece of evidence showed that this is a vehicle accident. Mustafa's foot is on the brake the whole entire time. The dash camera shows that he did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident. There's brake failure on a police body cam. They find brake failure. But the Commonwealth Attorney is bringing individuals and she's calling them witnesses. Prosecutor Sarah Sammy in court, she says, Your Honor, I have a witness that will testify that this is a murder. But then when we open the file, and I remind this community, a sealed file, the Commonwealth Attorney sealed it from anybody. No one can get to the bottom of what is going on in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Essentially, if I have not stole this from the Commonwealth Attorney, you can't verify what this prosecutor is saying. You can't verify how they're coming to these conclusions. The prosecutor in court says, Your Honor, I have a witness that will testify this is a murder. But then when we open the file and we go through the police body cams, the individuals that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is bringing into this case, each one of them will tell you, I was not there, I didn't hear anything, but then began to manufacture probable cause, paint Mustafa as a monster, say that this is a murder. What's your evidence? Oh, I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. So-and-so told me. And then when you open the body cam of so-and-so, well, bounce it back to the same person that's referring you to another individual. And every single person in this case will tell you, I wasn't there. This Commonwealth Attorney is bringing individuals to manufacture probable cause, muddy up the water. Now that every piece of evidence showed this is a vehicle accident, this is what Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is doing. Let's listen to what Prosecutor Sarah Sammy says in court. And then we're going to take a deep dive into the forensic interview, and we're going to continue going through what Kylie Clapp is telling us.
Another individual came forward to say that this defendant had told Dorothy that he would kill her in the past.
Another individual, she's claiming that she has a witness, that another individual is going to testify to that Mustafa said that he's going to kill Dorothy in the past. That's interesting, Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, because when we open the body cams, this individuals that you're talking about is bouncing to another individual, and then we'll tell you, I wasn't there. I didn't see it. That's the definition of hearsay. That's the definition of manufacturing probable cause. Now, the prosecutor knows that. And that's why she sealed off the file so no one can verify what she's saying in court. Before we dive into the forensic interview, I want to thank Missy, Becky, Casey. Thank you for being here. Missy says hello. Becky says hello. Casey says hello. Casey says, This is evidence that they are fake. Absolutely, ma'am. They're manufacturing probable cause. That means we can be witnesses. We weren't there. I mean, at this rate, jump right on board. The prosecutor will welcome you with open heart, as long as she's going to welcome you with open arms, as long as you're saying negative things about Mustafa. Even if you were not there, she's going to call you witnesses. It's been over 2.5 years, and the prosecutor refused, terrified, to take Mustafa to trial. You scream in court that Mustafa is guilty, but you're terrified to put his evidence on the record and take him to trial. Oh, that's right. You know, the minute you take Mustafa to trial, Mustafa's coming home. This is a vehicle accident. Every piece of evidence shows that. You sealed off the file. You're terrified that this community is getting to the bottom of what you're saying in court. Well, unfortunately for you, ma'am, we're in possession of that file, and we're leaking it on the internet. And every day, we're talking about the details of those police body cams that show that you lied in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Over 2.5 years, no trial. Mustafa sits in solitary confinement in a county jail. I mean, Virginia, by law, you're supposed to be able to go to trial, put your evidence on the record, go to trial within 6 months. Isn't that what Virginia entails with the speedy trial? I mean, look it up. Google speedy trial. Can you hold someone in a county jail without trial for over 6 months? The answer is no. It is illegal to put someone in a county jail without trial for over 6 months. But in Mustafa's case, Mustafa's been held in a county jail for over 2.5 years without trial. Let's dive into the forensic interview. And we're going to pick up where we left off last time. In this clip, Kylie Clapp. Kylie is Dorothy, Mustafa's girlfriend. At the time, she was 16. She is separated by CPS. She lives with her dad, Jason Clapp. This is her dad. This is her dad, Jason Clapp. She lives with her dad. She's separated from her mom by CPS. There is a lot of domestic violence between Kylie and her mom, so CPS separated them. She lives with her dad, Jason Clapp. Now, from what we know, Jason Clapp works with a club owner that has a giant problem with Mustafa. A month before Mustafa met Dorothy, this is Billy. Out of Crystal City. He owns a strip club. A month before Mustafa met Dorothy. Mustafa and Dorothy's relationship is 3 months long. Before Mustafa met Dorothy, there was a giant situation that happened a month before where the video went viral. Mustafa was promoting his business. Billy comes out and he's attempting to remove Mustafa. This video goes viral. There is racism all over this video. Fat white guy attempting to shut down a Mustafa's business, remove him off public property. There's racism all over this video. The community start boycotting Billy Bain out of Crystal City in Arlington. They began boycotting Billy's establishment. Fast forward to today, we're finding out that Kylie's dad works for Billy. That Kylie is being forced to come into a forensic interview and essentially paint Mustafa as a monster. Now, in this clip, she tells and we're going to pick up where we left off last time. If you haven't been tracking this case, if you haven't been watching the podcast, go back and watch the previous podcast so that way you can understand what we're talking about. We're almost halfway through the forensic interview of Kylie Clapp. Now, in this video, Kylie says she paints Mustafa as a monster. Now, she paints Mustafa as a monster. She manufactured probable cause. And essentially everything that she's being asked, every time she's asked, were you there? Did you hear it yourself? Kylie says, no, I wasn't there. Now, that's the definition of hearsay. In this clip, Kylie began to tell the individual that's conducting this interview that Mustafa is so evil, is such a horrible person, that his ex-girlfriend, that he's so violent that he beat his ex-girlfriend. And he's so violent. Let's listen to what Kylie's telling us.
I know he was like on, I want to say out on bail for something at the time, or that's what I was told, that he had whatever case with his ex for like beating her or something. And I was like, okay, you've known him a week and you say that he stalks you and you know this about him, so like obviously he's not really someone you want to be around.
Okay, so Kylie wants to tell us that Mustafa is so violent that he beat and abused his ex-girlfriend. Now, that's interesting. Mustafa's ex-girlfriend. Mustafa's been friends with his ex-girlfriend, totaling, including their relationship, just about, I want to say, 8 years. They've been friends for a long time, and then they were in a relationship for a long time. At the time when we were protesting what they're doing to Mustafa, essentially we camped in front of the jail because the guards beat Mustafa and abused Mustafa, and they were denying Mustafa medical. Now, when we were there, the person that was advocating for Mustafa is his ex-girlfriend. We camped in front of the jail. Mustafa's ex-girlfriend was camping with us. Mustafa's ex-girlfriend was in the court in support of Mustafa. And let's go to a video, because the ex-girlfriend is very public about what they're doing to Mustafa. Let's go to a video. Kylie wants to tell us Mustafa is a violent person, that he abused his ex-girlfriend. Well, let's go and listen to what the ex-girlfriend is telling us.
You're keeping an innocent man in jail, Amy. The most generous human being that you will ever meet. Please send medical assistance, because I feel like he's dying. Because the picture I saw of him, he looks double the size. He doesn't look like the man I saw in February. He looks double the size. Somebody that endures such a beating should have been dead, because he's not supposed to be double the size of a man 6 months later after the beating. Somebody in the jail beat him until he died, and I know he died because he opened his eyes again, and they were still beating him because he passed out. He passed out during the beating, and he wears glasses, and he wore glasses in court. Amy, Mustafa never wore glasses. Mustafa lost his eyesight. Mustafa lost his eyesight in six months? Your officers almost killed Mustafa. A man that never hurt me, that never would hurt anyone. A man that got into an accident and almost died himself. You're keeping an innocent man in there, and your correctional officers almost killed him. Why are you beating? Why do you have people like that in there that can beat someone to death? Mustafa never wore glasses. Why? I don't understand why at the hearing he's wearing glasses. His vision was perfect. Amy, please address this. Immediately, please address it. Because Mustafa is dying from the beating he endured in May. Please address it. I beg you. Please do your job. Please do your job, and you said that you were tough on crime. Please address Mustafa's case, please, and please send a doctor, because I think he's dying. He looked double his size. 6 months later after the beating, he is unrecognizable. Please send a doctor to him, please.
But Kylie wants to tell us that Mustafa is a violent person. That's interesting, Kylie. You want to paint Mustafa as a monster, that he beat his ex-girlfriend, that he's this horrible person. And then when we look into who you are, you tell us. Kylie gets online and she says that her dad works for Billy, the club owner that knows Mustafa, that had a problem with Mustafa, that went viral a month before Mustafa met Dorothy. So Kylie has a motive. You have a motive, ma'am. Your dad is forcing you to be there. What does Kylie tell us here?
So what is it right here? Like, why are you here to talk to me today?
Because my dad made me get at you. Because my dad made me. Because my dad made me. Because my dad made me. Because my dad made me.
Well, who the hell is your dad, ma'am? That's a good question. Who the hell is your dad? Because when we look into who your dad is, we find out that this is Jason Stantz. And you go online and you say that he pierces all the strippers for Billy, the club owner that had this situation before Mustafa met your mom. Let's watch this video.
And goddamn it, I'm telling you, you're gonna fucking go. Are you gonna assault me? You're gonna fucking get off my property. How many times do I have to tell him, officer? Get the fuck off my property. Get the fuck off it.
I got this whole thing on video.
You're good. Get the fuck off my property. You get the fuck off it.
You're gonna go to jail, bro.
Yeah, you watch who goes to fucking jail. How many times have you heard how many times I've told him? And you'll fucking see where we're standing. Get the fuck off my property, motherfucker.
Bitch, stop standing.
Fuck you. Get off.
I mean, you know, I'll tell you, this video is interesting in so many ways. One, the prosecutor wants to tell us, Kylie wants to tell us, that Mustafa is this violent person. But then when we watch this video of this fat white guy breathing down his neck, attempting to remove Mustafa out of public property, a public easement, while Mustafa is promoting his business, while Mustafa is making a living, this video went viral. Has racism all over this video. What do we see Mustafa? We see Mustafa is de-escalating. He's taking steps back, attempting to de-escalate. Where is this violent person that we're watching? But Kylie wants to tell us he's violent. She gets online, and then she says this. We find out that Kylie is connected to that club.
My dad, he's a piercer. He pierces like a lot of strippers
And he had brought up to them what happened, and they were and who they were, and they were like, yeah, we know this guy. Like, he used to record our license plates and put it on the internet and like follow us home and stuff. So I also was thinking, I don't want them to follow me home, and I don't want to put myself in a position where, you know, I'm unsafe.
Kylie says her dad works for Billy, pierces all the strippers. Her dad is making her go to the forensic interview. Now, what I've done is I've hired a private investigator that went out and sat down with the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, Dorothy's ex-boyfriend, before Mustafa. There was a Glenn Ford. So on a recorded line, Glenn Ford tells us that Kylie at one point, before the vehicle accident, came up to him. And she asked him to kill Mustafa. And can we make it look like an accident? Let's go to that recording.
Especially the older daughter. Like, she wanted me to shoot, like, kill him.
The older daughter wanted you to kill him?
Yeah. Like, where? Like, could you please, like, if I make it look like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something, and it's like self-defense, would you do it? And I'm like, no.
Fucking keep it up, and goddamn it up.
So you're hanging out with individuals that hate Mustafa. You talk about Billy. You talk about the strippers that works for Billy. You say that your dad works for Billy. You want to tell me you don't have a motive to paint Mustafa as a monster? And this police department is pretending this is a witness that will testify to Mustafa's character, that will testify to Mustafa premeditated this. And specifically, when you continue watching the forensic interview, Kylie is asked a very direct question. She says, Mustafa killed my mom on purpose. That he premeditated this. And the forensic interviewer, the person conducting the interview, asked her, did you hear it? Were you there? Did you hear it yourself? She says no. And she bounces it off to another individual. And then when we open that body cam of another individual, they bounce it back to Kylie. Kylie says she was not there. But the prosecutor in court wants to use Kylie and says, I have a witness that will come forward to testify that that Mustafa premeditated this. Why would you not tell the judge that this person that you're using also said, I wasn't there, I didn't hear it? A Commonwealth attorney, a prosecutor that wants to use Kylie, who has a history, who's connected to Billy, that has a problem with Mustafa, to sit here and want to give her credibility. I mean, at one point, you have a prosecutor, Jason O'Sullivan, that wrote in the discovery. He said, I've observed the forensic interview, and then began writing a narrative for what he saw in this video. And then he says he pretty much repackaged the whole interview, omits a lot of the details, omit the fact that Kylie says she wasn't there, that she's not the witness, omit the fact that she's manufacturing probable cause, and repackaged this forensic interview to give Kylie credibility. This police department knows Kylie is connected to Billy. Billy has a history with Mustafa. Mustafa had a lawsuit against the police. And this police department is bringing individuals to manufacture probable cause. But they're omitting a lot of it out of the case. And they're essentially repackaging this Kylie forensic interview to give her credibility. Let's continue and hear what Kylie is telling us about Mustafa. Kylie wants to tell us Mustafa is a violent person. But the ex-girlfriend says otherwise. You want to say that Mustafa beat his ex-girlfriend, abused his ex-girlfriend? Well, the ex-girlfriend is here. And she tells you, I loved Mustafa. Mustafa loved me. And she's here fighting for Mustafa. What's going on, Kylie? What information are you being fed? Oh, that's right. They seal off your video for the forensic interview, and they're repackaging your forensic interview to give you credibility. In this clip, Kylie goes on and says, she tells us why she's upset at Mustafa. She says, Mom chose Mustafa over me. Wait a minute. I thought you said that Mustafa abused your mom. And then when you're asked a direct question, did you see Mustafa abuse your mom? She says, no. Mom chose Mustafa over me. Mom loved Mustafa. Mom is choosing, and she loved Mustafa more than me. What the hell are you talking about? Are you jealous from your mom's relationship? Which one is it? Because we're walking away with a specific kind of conclusion. One, you have a motive. You're connected to individuals that hate Mustafa. Before the vehicle accident, you go to the ex-boyfriend and you say, can we kill Mustafa? You're sitting here manufacturing probable cause. My dad made me come here. I mean, essentially, did you want to kill Mustafa? Or did Billy out of the club in Arlington wants to kill Mustafa? You talk about your dad working for Billy. My dad is making me come here. And then you began painting a scenario that Mustafa is a violent person. Mustafa is a horrible person. But Mom loved Mustafa. She chose Mustafa over me. It's not adding up. I mean, is he abusing your mom? Or Mom chose Mustafa over me. Mom loved Mustafa. The boys loved Mustafa. She says her 10-year-old brother, her 9-year-old brother, 10-year-old brother, 14-year-old brother loved Mustafa. But then in one breath she says that. In another breath she says he's abusing them. Which one is it? She says he's abusing my mom, but then Mom loved him. Which one is it? They're all over each other. They love each other. Which one is it, Kylie? Oh, he's abusing my mom. Did you see this abuse? No. I didn't see any abuse. Which one is it? I mean, you're telling us, yeah, your mom loved Mustafa. Let's listen to what Kylie says.
And then it was like what I noticed that he was like coming around more, but it was my mom was never really at home. She would kind of just leave my siblings in the hotel room all day, and I would go with her a lot of the times because she liked having one of the older kids. That's like once my sister left, she went to like rehab, then she went live with her dad. When she left, it was me, and she liked having like one of us as like her smoke buddies or something. So I would go with her a lot of places, and he would be there a lot of the time.
Like to the places that you'd go?
Yeah, and then she started leaving me to watch the kids and stuff. Which she didn't really care about someone watching the kids. It was just she wanted like alone time with him. So it annoyed me because like she was always out with him.
She's always out with him. She chose Mustafa over me. Wait a minute. I thought you said Mustafa is stalking your mother. I mean, in one breath, she said Mustafa is stalking my mom. And in another breath, she says Mustafa is dating my mom. My mom loved Mustafa. She chose Mustafa over me. I mean, if you're going to lie, don't insult our intelligence in the process. Make it believable. I mean, when we're watching this forensic interview, we're looking for a couple of things. Is the scenario realistic? I mean, if your scenario is not even realistic, you're insulting our intelligence in the process. I'm trying to put all this evidence to the side, and I'm trying to imagine, be objective, imagine the scenario that you're telling us. The scenario that you're telling us is not realistic. He's stalking my mom, but they're dating. Which one is it? Are they stalking? Is he stalking her or is he dating her? He's abusing my mom. Did you see it? No. My mom loved him. Which one is it? Is he abusing her or did your mom love him? Every time I see them, they're all over each other. He's smacking her on the ass. Mom, get it together. You've been in a relationship with him for 2 weeks. Are you jealous from your mother? What's going on here? So, is the scenario realistic? Absolutely not. I mean, this girl is all over the place. 2, when she's asked a direct question, were you there? I mean, you're alleging that Mustafa is a violent person. Mustafa is this horrible person. Were you there? She says, no. This is the definition of manufacturing probable cause. Hearsay. And my favorite part is that the person conducting the interview is pretending and giving this girl credibility. I mean, she's telling you, I'm not there. Jason O'Sullivan, who's observing this interview, omits that out of the report. He's repackaging Kylie's forensic interview to give her credibility. And then they seal off this video. And when they're pressed hard enough, when the Commonwealth Attorney is pressed hard enough by the Department of Justice, by the FBI, by any civil rights organization, they give them that report. The falsified police report from the forensic interview and tell them this is what Kylie Clapp is saying. Well, you've repackaged it. You've admitted that she wasn't there. Essentially attempting to give her credibility. And the plan was that even the jury is not going to be able to see this video. Unfortunately for you, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, we have the video. It's on the internet, and we're going through it. And on trial, Kylie, when she takes the stand, she's going to get cross-examined with this video and other evidence. So you can't lie about Mustafa in trial. You've allowed her to manufacture a probable cause. Not in trial, ma'am. We can't wait for trial. In this video, Kylie goes on and says, Mustafa is a violent person. That someone is fighting him with a knife and he's punching somebody. Why would you do that? You're a violent person. And then later in the interview, she talks about that she beat up, that she got suspended from school because she beat up a girl in school. Kylie, you're describing yourself. You're the violent person. It's Kylie against Kylie. I mean, one breath you want to describe Mustafa as a monster, as a person that's violent. Why would you do that? She says. Kylie, halfway through the interview, you're telling us that you got suspended because you beat a girl. And there is a video of Kylie just punching away at this girl at school. We'll get into that video. Let's watch what Kylie says about Mustafa.
But then, and I know he would take her places, like, I know he, like, got in a fight with some guy outside of 7-Eleven, I think, that, like, he had a knife or something, and Moses was gonna, like, swing on him just to swing on him. And I was like, this guy has a knife. Like, you're doing this for what? Like, for...
Wait, is this coming out of the same person that tells us later in the forensic interview? Let's see. Let me find this video. There's a video here. Let's see. There we go. There is a video here where Kylie says that in school, there we go. Let's watch this video.
Then, like, this other time, this was when he started, like, okay, so I had gotten in a fight, like, with this girl at school. And I got suspended, obviously, because... And, it sounds bad. It really does sound bad, but I was just like, I don't know, it was a really bad time in my life, and this girl made me, like, really mad. And because
Kylie got suspended. For what, Kylie? What did you get suspended for? She beat up a girl in school. Why? Because she made her mad. Wait a minute. I thought you just got done telling us that Mustafa is a violent person. What's going on here, Kylie? Oh, wait a minute. What else are you telling us? That you're high all the time?
I don't know, this was like February, but I was also high all the time, and it was really hard to, like, I don't know, it's hard to get myself to remember some of that stuff, because it kind of was just...
She's high all the time. She's fighting girls at school. She's getting suspended. But then she wants to tell us that Mustafa is the violent person. Let's go back to that video. There we go.
But then, and I know he would take her places, like, I know he, like, got in a fight with some guy outside of 7-Eleven, I think, that, like, he had a knife or something, and Moses was gonna, like, swing on him, just to swing on him, and I was like, this guy has a knife, like, you're doing this for what? Like, for...
Were you there, Kylie? Let's listen to the rest of the video where Kylie says, not only that Mustafa swung on this person that had a knife, he went into some store and there's a speaker and he got on the speaker and started yelling and cussing everybody out, got on the speaker, and then she says, I don't know if it's a restaurant or it's a store. Now, the forensic interviewer, this lady, asks her, she says, were you there for the knife fight? No, I wasn't there. Were you there for the speaker? No, I wasn't there. So you're going to sit there and manufacture this story about Mustafa, and you're not there. But you want to tell the story that you witnessed this situation. I mean, when you read the Rain report, Jason O'Sullivan repackages the whole thing, and he puts it as if Kylie saw that Mustafa was punching this guy that was holding a knife, saw that Kylie saw Mustafa get on the speaker, and is cussing everybody at this restaurant, at the store. And he omits the fact that she says she wasn't there. Oh, he omits the fact that Kylie is the violent one. That she's the one. She's essentially describing herself. What did we hear out of Kylie? Yeah, I got suspended. This girl made me mad, so I punched her into a coma. Kylie. You think the police department is just going to repackage your forensic interview and essentially you can get away with lying about Mustafa? This video is all over the internet. And we're watching you describe yourself as the violent person. As the person that's on drugs all the time. What did Kylie say? I was high all the time. And at one point, she says, I don't know if I like mushroom. I only did it twice. You only did mushroom twice? Not according to the ex-boyfriend on a recorded line. He said, you're on hardcore drugs all the time. According to you, you did mushroom twice. And you say you don't like it. I wonder what would happen if you did like mushroom. You don't like mushroom and you did it twice. Let's listen to this video. Kylie continues to tell us about the speaker situation that she wasn't there for.
And then he would take her places and just be really aggressive, like everywhere. He was just really like aggressive and violent. I remember my mom telling me once he threw a fit at some store and they had like one of those loudspeaker things.
Mm-hmm.
And he started like going over the loudspeaker, like cussing, and I don't even know. I wasn't there. That was what I was told, but it was ridiculous.
Where was that at? Do you know?
No idea. I think a restaurant or like a store or somewhere in the middle. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
He's swinging at people. He's on this loudspeaker. He's a violent person. Oh, yeah, that's right. By the way, FYI, I beat a girl into a coma. Yeah, but Mustafa is a violent person. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I was told. Do you know where? No, not really. I don't know where. My favorite part is the person that's conducting the interview is doing her best to take Kylie seriously. Like she's sitting there writing notes. Tell me more, Kylie. Tell me more about this incident. How is Mustafa aggressive? How does he abuse your mom? And Kylie's like, yeah, mom chose him over me. He loves my mom. But yeah, he's abusive. Did you see him abusive? No. And then the forensic interview at one point would sit there and ask her 4 or 5 times, did you see Mustafa abusive? And the lady that's conducting the interview essentially wants to just get up and end the forensic interview. Kylie is not giving her the answers that she's looking for. I mean, when she tell you, I didn't see him aggressive, I didn't see him abusive with my mom, I wasn't there, and you ask her 4 or 5 times, attempting to get her to say, yes, I was there. Kylie's telling you she was not there. That's not a witness, ma'am. That's the definition of manufacturing probable cause. All right. In this clip, Kylie goes on and she wants to describe Mustafa as passive-aggressive. And then later on, she says that she's passive-aggressive. I don't understand. Are you describing yourself or are you describing Mustafa? Let me find this clip. All right, so let's listen to what Kylie is saying about Mustafa. She said Mustafa is passive-aggressive.
So when you were saying, You said a minute ago that like he would get really aggressive. So when you were saying, so you said a minute ago that like he would get really aggressive and violent. Like what does that mean? What do you mean by that? How would he do that?
He just had like temper issues, and like I don't know. It was like he wasn't necessarily. If you said what he said in a calm tone and voice, you wouldn't necessarily see it as threatening. But it's more how he says, and you can tell that his intentions with saying it aren't like. He was really passive aggressive. I don't know if that's the word for it.
Okay. Do you have an example that you can think of?
Like, I don't like. I don't know.
And it's okay if you don't know, okay? It's perfectly okay.
It's okay if you don't know. It's okay. Is Mustafa, you said that Mustafa is aggressive? Kylie tells her. Yeah, he's aggressive. He's passive aggressive. I don't know how to say it. He's not passive aggressive. I mean, when he talks, he's very calm. I don't know how to describe this. And then she goes on. And then at one point, she says that she's passive aggressive. And not only that she's passive aggressive, that she gets so angry that God help you if you make her angry. I mean, are you telling us that Mustafa, you want to tell us that Mustafa is angry? You want to tell us that Mustafa is abusive? I mean, in one breath, you say that Mustafa is abusive. In another breath, you say that you're the abusive one. Let's go back to that clip where she says, this is my favorite part. I mean, she just got done telling us that Mustafa is violent, right? Okay, well, let's go back to this clip.
Then, like, this other time, this was when he started, like, okay, so I had gotten in a fight, like, with this girl at school. And I got suspended, obviously, 'cause and, it sounds bad. It really does sound bad, but I was just like, I don't know. It was a really bad time in my life, and this girl made me like really mad. And cause.
And then Kylie goes on and tell us more, Kylie. Tell us more. What happens when you get mad?
So my mom picked me up. We get to the car. I was like, where's the car? I realized it was his car, and he was there. And at first he's like making jokes, laughing about it. Cause when I tell the story of why I did it and it's very clearly valid for me to be upset, maybe not to react with violence, but to be very upset. I think it was absolutely valid. Okay. But my mom is the type to like, oh yeah, she deserved it. I would have punched her in her shit too. And I was like, it's not the best influence to have, parental wise, but So they were like joking about it and like laughing. They saw the video and blah blah blah. But then he started to be like behind my back. He knew I didn't like him, and he made comments about it all the time, but very like comments that aren't really direct, if that makes sense. Like he's more hinting at it than like being straight up with it. I'm sorry, I don't know how to talk like in a way that's. I just realized I use a lot of slang as I'm talking to you.
I'm good with it. I'll let you know if I don't understand what you're talking about.
And he would start to say to her like, because I would make a lot of comments like that too. Cause I can be really passive aggressive. I'm a teenage girl. Like it's gonna happen. And I didn't like him, and I saw him as this like really big threat. And so obviously I wasn't very like, I don't know. And
Did she just say that she is passive aggressive, but yet describe Mustafa as passive aggressive? Let's go back to that clip, okay? All right. Let's see. So she just said she's passive aggressive. We just heard Kylie tell us about her adventures at school where a girl made her mad, a girl made her angry, and that she beat someone into a coma. She got suspended for it. That she's passive aggressive. And now she wants to tell us Mustafa is passive aggressive. Let's go back to that video and let's hear what she's saying about Mustafa.
So when you were saying, so you said a minute ago that like he would get really aggressive and violent. Like what does that mean? What do you mean by that? How would he do that?
He just had like temper issues, and like I don't know. It was like he wasn't necessarily. If you said what he said in a calm tone and voice, you wouldn't necessarily see it as threatening. But it's more how he says, and you can tell that his intentions with saying it aren't like. He was really passive aggressive. I don't know if that's the word for it.
Okay. Do you have an example that you can think of?
Like, I don't like. I don't know.
And it's okay if you don't know, okay? It's perfectly okay.
It's okay if you don't know. It doesn't matter because we've got Jason O'Sullivan, the prosecutor, who's going to repackage your forensic interview. It's okay because the Commonwealth attorney is going to seal off your forensic interview. So it doesn't matter. It's okay. Say whatever you want. Tell me more lies about Mustafa. Paint Mustafa as a monster. It's okay if you were not there. It's okay if you didn't hear it yourself. It's okay if you don't know. We'll repackage it for you. Mustafa is passive aggressive, and then in one breath she says Mustafa is passive aggressive. He's got in this fight. He did this on a speaker, but I wasn't there. I was told. I didn't see it. Mustafa is passive aggressive. I'm passive aggressive. Mustafa did this. I beat someone into a coma. Which one is it, Kylie? You sure sound like you're describing yourself. It's Kylie against Kylie. I mean, I cannot wait for trial. I mean, they can sit here, repackage this whole forensic interview and seal off the video, repackage it with the prosecutor written report, omitting a lot of the things out of this forensic interview and giving Kylie credibility. But the fact that this video is now on the internet, it's unsealed. It's no longer sealed by the Commonwealth attorney. We stole it from Amy Ashworth, the Commonwealth attorney, and we're putting it on the internet. So now in trial, when Kylie takes a stand, she wants to be a witness, right? The prosecutor tells us that Kylie is a witness to Mustafa saying that he premeditated this and he murdered his girlfriend and 5-year-old Empress on purpose. That this is not a vehicle accident. Well, what's disturbing, and we haven't gotten to that part yet, but when we get to it, you'll hear Kylie is asked a direct question. Kylie says, Mustafa premeditated this. He did this on purpose. This is not a car accident. And then she says, did you hear Mustafa? Did you see Mustafa? Did you hear him say that? She says, no, I wasn't there. I didn't hear Mustafa. And then she goes and refers back to another individual, and we'll go into that individual's body cam. That individual bounced back to Kylie and says, I didn't hear it. Kylie told me. Well, Kylie is telling you that she wasn't there. But a prosecutor in court wants to use Kylie and says, I have a witness. They think by sealing off the case, no one is going to get to the bottom of what is going on in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Really quick, let's go over with the prosecutor and how the prosecutor is repackaging this. So that way we have perspective and what is going on in this case. You have a forensic interview. We're watching the video. We're listening to the prosecutor in court say that she has a witness that Mustafa premeditated, did this on purpose. We go into the video. That person says, I'm not a witness. I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. And essentially manufactures probable cause. This prosecutor is muddying up the water. And then you have another prosecutor that repackaged this interview into, after the Commonwealth attorney seals it. So she seals this from anybody. The Department of Justice don't have access into this video. The FBI don't have access into this video. You can't FOIA request this video. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth sealed off every piece of evidence in Mustafa Al-Jazari case. The body cams, the document. And when they're pressed hard enough by the Department of Justice or by any civil rights organization, they'll issue out this statement that a prosecutor saw the forensic interview, and this is what they're saying. Jason O'Sullivan, this is a document. This is a document entered into Mustafa Al-Jazari case on September 18, 2023 at 10:16 a.m. by prosecutor Jason O'Sullivan. On September 8, 2023, I observed a forensic interview of Kylie Clapp at the CAC. The interview was conducted by Deanne Johnson and was both audio and video recorded. Now, Deanne Johnson tells us she's not a doctor. She's not a psychologist. She doesn't work for the police department. She says, I'm just a person that talks to kids all day. Our question is, what is your credential when you're conducting this interview? And that's a very valid question. The recording have been uploaded to evidence.com. Please refer to the recording for the complete interview. The following is a summary. Well, how could we refer to evidence.com when the Commonwealth attorney, Amy Ashworth, went to the presiding judge, Carol Weimer, sealed off the whole file? You can no longer FOIA request it. Even the Department of Justice can't look at this video. And if it wasn't for us stealing it from the Commonwealth attorney, leaking it on the internet, we cannot verify what's in this document. The interview began with introduction followed by the rules in the room. Kylie was then asked if she knew why she was at the CAC, to which she said her dad made her come, and she assumed it was associated with the crash that occurred with her mom, sister, and Moses. Now, if you didn't know that her dad works for Billy, her dad is Jason Clapp, works for Billy Bain. Billy Bain has a giant issue with Mustafa. A month before Mustafa met Dorothy And her dad making her come here is a problem because it shows motive. Billy Bain, her dad works for Billy Bain, a strip club owner out of Crystal City in Arlington that went viral for being racist. The community boycotted his establishment because he was racist to Mustafa. It's on a video. That video was watched by almost 9 million people at the time, and the community was boycotting his establishment. Now, when she says, my dad is making me come here, that's a problem because it shows motive. And the fact that they leave out that the ex-boyfriend on a recorded line says that Kylie went up to the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, to kill Mustafa, and today we have a vehicle accident with brake failure on a police body cam. It shows there's brake failure. Did they have anything to do with Mustafa brake failure? Does Billy, ex-boyfriend Glenn Ford, Kylie, I mean, they're saying on a recorded line, can we kill Mustafa? Kylie goes up to Glenn Ford. Can we kill Mustafa and make it look like an accident? And today we have a vehicle accident with brake failure. Now, this shows motive. She's in this forensic interview, manufacturing probable cause. And now you want to tell us that your dad is making you come here? Specifically, when we have a body cam, a specific body cam, where the investigator that's investigating this vehicle accident is calling you on your cell phone on day one. Now, at the time you were 16, what's Investigator Davis doing calling you on your cell phone, talking to you on first name basis? I mean, he's not working for the Child Forensic Unit, but yet he's calling you on your cell phone on day one, and we have the body cam, and he's asking you questions. Hey, is this your mom's cell phone? Is that your mom's telephone? All right, Kylie, I'll talk to you later. First name basis on her cell phone. Now, this interview was conducted September 18. Well, that's interesting because Investigator Davis is calling her in April on day one when the vehicle accident happened. So why is now her dad is making her come here? If we have a body cam that the investigator is calling her on her cell phone. This is a body cam. We have a body cam where Investigator Davis is calling Kylie. So I've uploaded the body cams all on the internet as exhibits. And exhibit for the body cam for Investigator Davis is exhibit 47. So if you go on YouTube, let's go over to YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast. There's a playlist called Police Body Cams, Mustafa Al-Jazari. If you go and scroll down the playlist, these are all the body cams that I stole from the Commonwealth Attorney, Amy Ashworth. They are essentially sealed and no one can have access to. I put them on the internet. If you go over to Exhibit 47, you'll see a body cam with Investigator Davis, 47. We're going to fast forward. We're going to get to the part where he's talking to Kylie. And this body cam is April 11, 2023. The vehicle accident happened on April 5th. We know that Kylie from another body cam, Amy Hodson, a.k.a. Evelyn Horton, says that Kylie was there at the hospital on April 5th. On this body cam, on another body cam, she's in the background when the neighbor is talking to Investigator Robert Drum. And we're going to get into those body cams. I'm just setting a foundation. From this body cam, on April 11, Investigator Davis, who does not work for the Child Forensic Unit. So the question is, what is he doing talking to a 16-year-old, a child, when he's not with the Child Forensic Unit? And he's talking to her on first name basis. This is April 11, but yet she doesn't get an interview until September 18. And she's talking about the investigator is calling her dad. Well, we know from this body cam, the investigator are talking to you. What are they doing contacting your dad to force you to come here? Does it have anything to do with Billy, the club owner that your dad pierces all the strippers to? This is a case of public opinion, and we're asking questions. Kylie did a forensic interview in April with the rest of the kids. Because she doesn't live there, Kylie is separated by CPS. Kylie is separated by CPS. She doesn't live with her mom. She doesn't live with Mustafa. Kylie lives with her dad, Jason Clapp, at a hotel. She's essentially not there. So what is she going to be a witness to? I mean, if you're not there, they bring you in, you have nothing to say. They wait all the way until September for you to go and gather facts about Mustafa. We're essentially protesting in front of the jail. We're releasing home videos. We're releasing material into this case. Kylie is on a hunt to gather information. So when she does her forensic interview in September, she want to come off as a credible witness. And she still messed it up. I mean, when you're watching this forensic interview, every single time, I'm not there, I wasn't there, the hearsay inside of hearsay, she paints Mustafa as a monster. And then when she's asked about these scenarios that she's painting for Mustafa, were you there? She says, no. And then in the forensic interview, she tells you, my dad is making me come here. Well, why is your dad making you come here when Investigator Davis on April 11 is on a phone with you? And I remind this community, he doesn't work for the Child Forensic Unit, but he's on a phone with a minor. But in September 18, my dad is making me. Let's listen to the body cam with Investigator Davis on April 11.
It's 11, 12, or 13.
So she had a blue iPhone.
It was an 11, I think.
A blue iPhone 11 with a sparkly case and a pop socket.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right. If there was a... Hold on, Kyle. I might have to call you back, okay?
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Talking to her on first name basis on April 11. But on September 18, she says, my dad is making me come here. And you want to tell me that her dad is not connected with Billy? That they're not forcing this girl to come here? She's going around saying, I want to kill Mustafa. I've got her on a recorded line. The ex-boyfriend says she came up to him and she asked him to kill Mustafa. I've got her coming on the internet and she says she's hanging out with the strippers that now hate Mustafa because their boss went viral. The same strippers that used to love Mustafa, and when Mustafa used to go to that location, used to come out and promote his business. Now, her dad is making her come here. Kylie, okay, so let's continue reading what Jason O'Sullivan says. Kylie advised her mother, met Moses in January 2023 when they were staying in hotel rooms. She advised her mom, Dorothy, to tell her Moses has been stalking her initially and asked Kylie if she wanted to meet him. Wait a minute. When you watch the video, in one breath, Kylie tells us that Mustafa is stalking my mom. In 1 minute, in another breath, she says mom is dating Mustafa. This is interesting how it's repackaged. Let's read it again. Let's read it one more time. Kylie advised her mother, met Moses in January 2023 when they were staying in hotel rooms. She advised her mom, Dorothy, to tell her Moses been stalking her initially and asked Kylie if she wanted to meet him. Kylie agreed to meet him, and the three of them got into his car at the hotel parking lot, and Moses provided her and her mother with marijuana, which they smoked in the car. Kylie thought Moses was weird and thought the situation was weird because he was all up on her mother. Wait a minute. So you're admitting the fact that Kylie says she's high all the time. Kylie says that she does mushrooms, and she says she did mushroom twice. You're admitting the fact that, hey, Mustafa works at that 7-Eleven. He has a relationship with the owner. He lets him sell his heat warmers outside the 7-Eleven. The hotel is right here. Mustafa sells his heat warmer at the 7-Eleven in the same parking complex. You're admitting the fact that Kylie says that he's dating my mom. I mean, the way this is worded, you're repackaging this and essentially giving Kylie credibility. You want to tell me that a prosecutor, Jason O'Sullivan, watched this forensic interview and he wants us to believe that Mustafa met this girl, he's dating this girl, and the relationship is going so well that this girl wants him to meet her daughter. And the first thing that he's going to do to make a good impression on this girl that he's dating is give her daughter weed? I mean, does that scenario make sense to you? But you put it in a paragraph so that way anybody that inquires about the Mustafa Al-Jazari case, you give them that document that you observed this forensic interview. And this is what the witness is talking about. Kylie Clapp. That Mustafa is this horrible monster. And you admit the fact that in every single time that Kylie is asked, were you there? Did you hear it? Did you see it? She says no. The scenarios that she's given us makes absolutely no sense. In one breath, Mustafa is stalking my mother. In another breath, Mustafa is dating my mother. Mom is asking me to meet Mustafa. Well, if he's stalking your mother, why is this mother asking you to meet him? Why is this mother, how is she dating him if he's stalking her? Jason O'Sullivan, sir, hello? You think you're comfortable by having the Commonwealth Attorney seal off this video for you so you can repackage this interview and give Kylie credibility. Well, it's too late for that, sir. That video is all over the internet. And Kylie, when the prosecutor brings her to the stand, pretending she's a witness, she's going to get cross-examined with her own forensic interview. Never in a million years did you expect that to happen. Let's continue reading what Jason O'Sullivan is telling us. Kylie advised Moses did not have a job, but he sold things out of his car. She was also told he had a case with his ex-girlfriend for beating her. Oh, that's interesting. Jason O'Sullivan. You want to say that Kylie said that Moses doesn't have a job, but you want to admit the fact that Kylie says Mustafa always was buying my mom designer items. Oh, interesting. Designer purses, designer clothes. But yet he doesn't have a job. That's interesting. You want to omit that out of the forensic interview. You just want to say, my witness, Kylie Clapp, says he does not have a job. This person, you want to paint him as a bum, as a monster. So you want to omit a lot of it. Well, Jason O'Sullivan, sir. Kylie Clapp, in her own words, says that Mustafa bought my mother designer items. I mean, I don't have to show you endless videos of Mustafa's customers talking about Mustafa. I mean, these are Mustafa's customers. Kylie says, well, Mustafa is in front of the strip club. He's recording strippers and he's recording license plates. Ma'am, I was with Mustafa. And essentially, when we sell an item, a physical therapy equipment device, or a heat warmer, we record an interview for that customer. Let's go over to what the customers are telling us. This one is my favorite.
I'm impressed. I ran across a guy that I met at Potomac's Mill Mall 5 years ago. He sold me one of these. I bought one. I see him again. I'm buying 2 more. These things here are awesome. Back pain, neck pain, any pain you have, I promise you, these work.
But Jason O'Sullivan wants to tell us that Miss Kylie says Mustafa said he does not have a job. We're going to take her word for it. And Jason O'Sullivan is going to repackage this into that Mustafa doesn't have a job, a horrible monster. Well, unfortunately for you, sir, we have the video. And this community is watching what you wrote, and we're watching what Kylie said. Isn't that an interesting kind of situation? Not in a million years did you expect that this video was to be released out of the back pocket of Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. Jason O'Sullivan says, Kylie advised her mother met Moses in January when they were staying in hotel room. She advised her mom, Dorothy, to tell her Moses had... Okay, we already read that part. Let's go to paragraph 4. Kylie advised mom did not have a job, but he sold things out of his car. She was also told he had a case with his ex-girlfriend for beating her. We just watched that his ex-girlfriend is public, and she says that she loved Mustafa. Mustafa never beat her, and she's fighting for Mustafa publicly. We watched a video earlier. But Kylie wants to tell us otherwise. The same Kylie that got suspended from school, the same Kylie that beat another girl into a coma, the same Kylie that says that she's passive-aggressive. Oh, no, Mustafa is passive-aggressive. No, I'm passive-aggressive. That's what Kylie says in her own forensic interview. Kylie impeach Kylie. Kylie stated Dorothy would take her to a lot of places and Moses would be there and use Kylie as her smoke buddy. Oh, this is interesting. He's rewriting it as Mustafa is using Kylie as his smoke buddy. I mean, when you watch the forensic interview, Kylie clearly says that mom takes me to places and she would use me as her smoke buddy. But in this document, Jason O'Sullivan wants to tell us, Kylie stated Dorothy would take her to a lot of places and Moses would be there and use Kylie as her smoke buddy. I mean, if I didn't watch the forensic interview, if I wasn't watching the forensic interview, reading this, Jason O'Sullivan, sir, not in a million years did you expect that we're going to read your document and watch the forensic interview that your Commonwealth attorney, Amy Ashworth, sealed. Kylie advised Moses would take Dorothy places to be very aggressive, violent, and had temper issues. One time at the store, he threw a fit and started utilizing the store loudspeaker and yelled profanities. Well, that's interesting. He doesn't tell us that Kylie, when she's asked a direct question, were you there? Did you see this yourself? Jason O'Sullivan leaves that out of the written report to essentially give Kylie Clapp credibility. He's giving Kylie Clapp credibility. Jason O'Sullivan, sir. Now, your job as a prosecutor to prosecute this case, not maliciously go after Mustafa. In this case, this is a case of public opinion. We're watching the forensic interview. We're reading your written report. And it shows that you're maliciously going after Mustafa. To write a report and say that Kylie said Mustafa is violent, Mustafa is aggressive, and leave the part where Kylie says, I was not there. That's maliciously prosecuting Mustafa. You have your Commonwealth attorney that seals off the video. You repackage the forensic interview. And essentially, if I haven't stolen the file out of the Commonwealth attorney, the jury during trial wouldn't be able to access the forensic interview. They wouldn't see the video. The only thing they're going to see is the written report from Jason O'Sullivan. And if I'm the jury and I'm reading that a witness, Kylie Clapp, said that Mustafa is aggressive, Mustafa does this, Mustafa does that, and on video she says, I wasn't there, but on the written report I'm reading, he's omitting the fact that she wasn't there, essentially giving her credibility. I mean, if I was the jury and I'm reading this, would I be able to tell that Kylie wasn't there? Absolutely not. It sounds like Kylie is there. And essentially, they're giving Kylie, they're authenticating and they're giving her credibility by omitting the fact that when Kylie says, I was not there, she's not a witness. But they're pretending and they want to make her look like a witness. Unfortunately for this police department and the Commonwealth attorney, Amy Ashworth, and unfortunately for Jason O'Sullivan, I mean, in Mustafa's case, there are 4 prosecutors. Jason O'Sullivan, prosecutor Sarah Sammy, and Stephanie Buck. There's 1, 2, 3. 3 prosecutor. And when you look at Buck, you see that Buck looks like a deer. You know when you're driving in the middle of the night and I kid you not, a deer just pop out of nowhere? This 3rd prosecutor looks like a deer that's stuck in the middle of the highway and doesn't know where. Every time I see her, she has this look on her face. She's confused all the time. They've got four prosecutors on Mustafa's case. And essentially what they're doing here, they're hoping that just in case that the file is unsealed and there is an investigation into how they're manufacturing probable cause and maliciously prosecuting Mustafa, these 4 prosecutors is going to do what Buck is doing. Essentially pretend it wasn't me that signed off on this document. It wasn't me that did this. It was the other prosecutor. No, it was the other prosecutor. 4 prosecutors. I mean, we're reading Jason O'Sullivan. And the question is, what the hell is Jason O'Sullivan doing in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? They think they can get away with malicious prosecution. This is what that is. To omit what's going on in the forensic interview, repackage it, hoping that the only document that's left out of this forensic interview is the written report. This is the definition of malicious prosecution. We're going to stop here. We're going over an hour and 48 minutes. We like to keep these podcasts to an hour, no more than 2 hours. On that note, we're going to stop here. And when we come back, we're going to continue going through the forensic interview of Kylie Clapp. Now, Kylie Clapp is going to take us, once we're done with the Kylie Clapp interview, let's recap really quick the individuals that are being used as witnesses in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. This is Divine Jones, the ex-husband of Dorothy. This is the wife of the investigator, Stephanie Claiborne. She's on 3-way, doesn't work for the police department when the main investigator that essentially falsified the police report, Robert Drum, she's on 3-way, just on a phone while he's talking to alleged witnesses, and she's releasing information out of Mustafa's case on the internet, sitting down with Evelyn Horton, a.k.a. Amy Hodson, on the internet, and trolling the conversation of Mustafa Al-Jazari. So from what we know from the body cam of Amy Hodson, a.k.a. Evelyn Horton, we know that when the prosecutor says in court that she has a witness. It's not Evelyn Horton. So Evelyn Horton has been disqualified as a witness, aka Amy Hodson. Now, there's a body cam. You can watch the previous podcast, and Evelyn Horton, aka Amy Hodson, sends in an email saying that I am a witness to Mustafa premeditated this murder. She sends an email under Evelyn Horton. When the main investigator on a body cam picks up the phone, she identifies herself as Amy Hodson, and then the investigator began detailing the email of Evelyn Horton. So now we know they're masking the identity of Evelyn Horton. And when you listen to the body cam, she says, I don't know Mustafa. I don't know Dorothy. I wasn't there. I'm getting everything that I'm getting, that Mustafa premeditated this from Kylie Clapp. So we know immediately that Evelyn Horton has been disqualified. She's not the witness. So when the prosecutor says, I have a witness that will testify that Mustafa premeditated this, and she's relying on Evelyn Horton, now Evelyn Horton is telling us it's Kylie Clapp. So Evelyn Horton, sweetheart, you've disqualified yourself as a witness. So we're taking a deep dive into Kylie Clapp. Kylie Clapp, once we're done with the Kylie Clapp interviews, in this interview, you'll hear her say, Mustafa premeditated this. He did this on purpose. This is not a car accident. And when she's asked a very specific question, were you there? Did you hear him yourself? She says no. And she says, she refers you back to the neighbor, Tanisha Coleman, Nene. Now, Nene, when you open her body cams, she says, I got my information that Mustafa did this on purpose from Kylie Clapp. So they're bouncing back. They're playing essentially a game of ping pong. This is Dorothy's half-brother, Derek. He lives all the way in West Virginia. He doesn't know anything about his sister. He doesn't know Mustafa. He doesn't even know the kids. The kids don't even know him. We'll take a deep dive into his body cams. And then the body cams is going to take us into the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford. This is Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend. We have multiple body cams from Glenn Ford and what Glenn Ford says about Mustafa. And essentially, he's doing the same thing. He says Mustafa doesn't even know him, but he's been watching Mustafa. And did you see Mustafa abuse Dorothy or the children? He says no. But then he manufactures and paints Mustafa as a monster. He does the same thing that everybody else is doing. And when he's asked, did you see this yourself? No. And then he refers you back to the children. Dorothy has a 9, a 10, a 14. The children, in one of the forensic interviews, says that the police department weaponized them against Mustafa. That Glenn Ford, Nene, is the one that is telling them Mustafa abused their mother. So all these individuals will push you into that the children are saying Mustafa abused our mother, but the children will tell you, no, they're telling us that Mustafa abused our mother. So they're playing a game of ping pong. And then when you open the Google Nest videos inside the apartment, you find out that it's a beautiful relationship. The children love Mustafa. The children love Mustafa. Mustafa loved the children. He loves his girlfriend. It's a beautiful relationship. And I have days on days of Google Nest videos. And essentially, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth sealed off the whole file. So that way, when she says this in court, no one can get to the bottom of it.
Another individual came forward to say that this defendant had told Dorothy that he would kill her in the past.
Another individual came forward and will testify to that he told Dorothy that he's going to kill her in the past. And she tells the judge, she proffers is she doesn't present evidence at the time. She just says, Your Honor, I have evidence. But then when you open the videos, all these individuals that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is relying on, prosecutor Sarah Sammy is relying on, is essentially manufacturing probable cause. And each one of them will tell you, we were not there. This prosecutor knows that, and that's why they sealed off the file so no one can get to the bottom of what is going on in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Unfortunately for them, we're in possession of the file. I stole that file from Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, and I'm leaking it on the internet. And we can verify what is happening in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case and how they're falsifying every piece of evidence using individuals that are manufacturing probable cause. The material fact of this case is that this is a vehicle accident. Every piece of evidence show this is a vehicle accident. Mustafa's foot was on the brake the whole entire time. There's a computer inside the car. The dash cameras show this is a vehicle accident, and Mustafa did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident. The police department falsified his statements, and there is evidence to that. The material fact is that this is a vehicle accident. On that note, thank you for being here. I want to thank everybody for being here. Shirley, I love you, man. Missy, Becky, Casey, the mother of Mustafa Al-Jazari, Unique, Freedom for Mustafa. That's the mother of Mustafa Al-Jazari. Please follow her. Who else is here? Dre, thank you for being here. I love you, brother. I want to remind everybody to remember there is a legal fund for Mustafa. It's a Cash App. This is Mustafa's Cash App. And we'll leave that on the screen. Thank you for being here. This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa, through the police body cams, Judge Carol Weimer, you're under the microscope.
2 years in a cell, no trial, no voice. Truth buried deep, but we ain't got no choice. They tried to erase them, break them apart, but we scream free Mustafa from the soul, from the heart. Falsified the paper, twisted every word, turned a car crash to murder, like justice never heard. Dorothy and Empress, angels in the sky, now they blame a broken man while the real ones lie. A badge and a pen, that's all it took. Signed his fate with a false report and a dirty look.
Wherever the fuck is on the other side, where the fuck that guy goes? Follow him to the
Scream Mustafa, loud through the chains. Justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. Amy Ashworth, playing judge and the jury in a county so dirty, soaked in fury. Police and the courts all in on the plot. They framed an innocent man and left his soul to rot, but his family's out marching, banners held high, while supporters flood timelines, refusing to lie. They want silence, we give them the storm. Truth blazing through like justice reborn. Every post, every chant, every sleepless night is a spark in the dark that's ready to ignite. This ain't just a song, it's a battle cry for every soul locked up while the guilty lie. We free Mustafa, loud through the chains. Justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. 2 years too long, time to rise above. Truth is power when fueled by love. So we'll march, we'll fight, we'll never let go until Mustafa walks free and the whole world knows. Angels in a cell, no trial, no voice. Truth buried deep, but we ain't got no choice. They tried to erase them, break them apart, but we scream free Mustafa. From the soul, from the heart. They falsified the paper, twisted every word, turned a car crash to murder, like justice never heard. Dorothy and Empress, angels in the sky. Now they blame a broken man while the real ones lie. A badge and a pen, that's all it took. Signed his fate with a false report and a dirty look.
Wherever the fuck is on the other side, what the fuck that guy doing? Follow him and get him.
We scream Mustafa, loud through the chains. Justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. Amy Ashworth, playing judge and the jury in a county so dirty, soaked in fury. Police and the courts all in on the plot. They framed an innocent man and left his soul to rot, but his family's out marching, banners held high, while supporters flood timelines, refusing to lie. They want silence, we give them the storm. Truth blazing through like justice reborn. Every post, every chant, every sleepless night is a spark in the dark that's ready to ignite. This ain't just a song, it's a battle cry for every soul locked up while the guilty lie. We free Mustafa, loud through the chains. Justice corrupted, drowning in pain. From the cell block to the street, we'll never stop till the walls fall down and the charges drop. Free Mustafa, it's more than a name, it's a movement, a mission, exposing the game to Trump and Cash. Hear our cry, bring the truth to light, let the innocent fly. 2 years too long, time to rise above. Truth is power when fueled by love. So we'll march, we'll fight, we'll never let go until Mustafa walks free and the whole world knows.